What's up, everybody? It's your buddy Pete back again with a segment episode, and for that you can thank motherfucking nature, because she saw fit to dump upwards of 30 inches on the northern eastern seaboard. That shit is ridiculous. The fucking stupid meteorologist rodent said it was supposed to be in early spring, and if we can't trust, you know, a small groundhog to tell us how the weather's going to be, who the fuck can we trust? Because it's obviously not the weathermen who really couldn't decide how much fucking snow we were getting. But as it turned out, they were kind of right. Some of them scales said 30 inches, and that's what north of us and out in Long Island got. I myself had 13 inches of snow to shovel out of, which could have been a lot worse. Anyway, before I start, I want to wish a very happy birthday to my good friend Ashley Smash. It was great seeing you and Amber Love over the weekend. You guys remember Amber? She actually came. She was crazy enough to come on to the Pete's Basement show once or twice. And hopefully we can get her back if we just like kind of drug her up and kidnap her and get her down here. And she wakes up she's like, oh no, fucking here again. But nah, you guys, you girls, it was great seeing you. I came out to Philly this past week. It was my first time in Philly. Seems like a great town, and I'd like to get back there when it's not 4 degrees out and explore. But Ash, very happy birthday. Guys, you can follow Ashley as Smash is Nerdy on Twitter, and Amber Love, you guys know her. She's on Twitter and Facebook as well, Amber Unmasked and Amber Love. Check that out. Always good to rep Friends of the Basement. And speaking of Friends of the Basement, my good buddy Eddie D'Angelini sent me a picture of himself in the Pete's Basement t-shirt over the Los Angeles skyline. That was possibly one of the coolest pictures I've ever seen, man. Thanks for fucking repping Pete's Basement on the West Coast, brother. Love it. Before we get to this week's comics, I want to go over a couple of things. First and foremost, Dennis Caderet has a Kickstarter campaign that he sent us, wants us to look into, entitled Voltage, about this guy that takes on the mob in the 1920s with electrical powers. Dennis had sent us a message via Facebook, and it gets a little tough, guys, when, you know, with a fan page, we get a lot of fucking spam on the Facebook messages. So the best way to reach us, you know, and especially if you are an up-and-coming artist or a writer or something and you want us to check out your book, send it to questions@petesbasement.com. This will forward to all of our respective emails. We got a couple of you guys that have sent us PDFs of your book, and we will be getting to that as soon as we get the boys back for a roundtable in 2 weeks. So look for that. Anton Massapus III, I hope I said that dude's name right, wanted to know if we checked out HellBoy in Hell. I have not read this book yet. I sporadically pick up HellBoy books now and then. I do like the character, I like the stories, and I like the fact that, excuse me, you know, you don't have to necessarily have read the previous miniseries to get what's going on in this one. So that's always good. Anton, I'll check those out, and I'm sure Ramon will as well, because Ramon reads fucking everything. Nick Melanchek wanted to know about Green Arrow 17 and Phantom Stranger 5. I read the first 2 Phantom Strangers, and I couldn't get into it. But if you tell me that Phantom Stranger 5 is cool, then I'll backtrack the last 3 issues, and I'll try it out. Especially, though, now that I saw Raven running around in the new Teen Titans book, it'd be pretty cool to see how that ended up. I don't know how the fuck it passed me by that the girl that the Phantom Stranger was trying to return to Trigun was Raven. I just... brain fart, man. Just the fucking hamster tripped on the wheel. I don't know what happened. Green Arrow I was never that into, but my boy Matt is really into it. I'll ask him what he thought of Green Arrow 17. That is one of the books he reads pretty consistently. He's a big DC guy. He's kind of sworn off Marvel altogether. So I'll get his opinion on that. I want to thank Superhero Spoof, one of our new fans of the show. Check out that fan page. It's a nice, funny page. They dropped us a comment and said this page is pretty dope. So thank you. It's always good to hear from new fans. And last but not least, Patrick Kaczynski weighed in on Steve's idea that one of the Sinister Six was going to figure out that Doc Ock was running around in Spidey's skin. He told me about a rumor that I only just heard recently as well, like maybe in the last day or two, that the Green Goblin is slated to return sometime in, I think, April or May to Superior, and that is when we are going to, also right around that same time, I read that we're going to figure out who is going to be the true Superior Spider-Man. So no more Ghosts in the Machine, no more nothing. It's probably going to be fucking Doc Ock, and I'm going to flip my shit. But it'll definitely be the Green Goblin that figures out that Peter Parker is not acting the way he should be. That's a very astute guess there, Patrick. Now, let's get to a little R&R. And by that, I mean Rotworld and Garth Ennis' Red Team. Get it? See what I did there? R&R. Oh, snap! Which is the last of my fucking really horrendous segues of the night. Let's talk about Rotworld first, because I've been on Animal Man and Swamp Thing since the beginning, and if you guys haven't picked this up, you're missing out. It's a really great series. I was hoping that Rotworld would see the end to the whole Anton Arcane storyline. Basically what happened was, just to give you guys a quick update, Animal Man is an agent of the red, like red meat, living creatures, and Swamp Thing is an agent of the green, vegetation, plant life, and then there is the rot, which is basically death, what happens to both of these entities in the long run, and the three of these kind of yin, yang, and yung balance each other out, and Anton Arcane has become the avatar of the rot, and he has just twisted the concept of death, and he's taken over the world, through this whole like time travel void thing. Animal Man and Swamp Thing tried to stop him. They got blasted a year into the future where Anton has already succeeded, and the whole world is dead. Everybody's fucking dead. We saw the Justice League as like rotted zombie versions of themselves trying to fuck up Swamp Thing and Animal Man and stop them from storming Arcane's stronghold. That was pretty cool. Flash is just running around at supersonic speed, just lopping people's heads off, just smacking their body into pieces. That was really awesome. Wonder Woman looked just disturbingly disgusting. We saw that all of like Earth's heroes were basically turned into rotten husks of themselves. Batman, for one, was working on a cure of some kind, like a super plant growth formula that he left for Swamp Thing, who he figured would inevitably come to him at some point. Because Batman's brilliant and that's just what he does. And we saw that Barbara Gordon was injected with the Man-Bat serum by Batman. Why he didn't get like Nightwing and all of the rest of his family into that, we don't know. Maybe he didn't have time. They don't really say. But Barbara Gordon is like the new Man-Bat in this, and she was helping Swamp Thing. And we see that Batman is like not alive, but he's like, you know, rotten, and he keeps coming back to life as a zombie. Over in Animal Man, we saw that one of the Green Lantern of Earth, after all of our Green Lanterns got killed, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, the rest of them, the Ring chose this being that was like a humanoid vegetable kind of creature, so it was half red, half green, to take on the rot, and he was captured by Arcane's forces, and there's a lot of guest stars in there. Constantine was running around, and they took on this guy, Briarwood, who was like the living city. He's like a fucking wooden wizard or something. I never heard of this guy, but it was a pretty cool concept. He was actually holding the Green Lantern prisoner within himself. It was pretty weird. And on the sidelines was Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, that crossed over into this series for a couple of issues. And Frankenstein was supposed to be an agent of the rot, but because he's kind of living and kind of dead, he could never be taken over by the rot. And that was pretty cool. Like this was like the last ditch effort for DC to get, you know, fans over to this series. It didn't really work. And the issue ended with 69. What the fuck? Where did I pull that out of? Whew. Freudian slip. The issue ended with 16. The series ended with 16, I should say. Where Frankenstein had created this device that was designed by his creator, the evil, very evil and psychotic Victor Frankenstein, to turn people into Frankenstein monsters. And basically what he did was make an entire army of mini Frankensteins to take on Anton Arcane and the rest of the rot. And he teamed up with Animal Man and Swamp Thing for a big knockdown, drag-out fight. In issue 17 of Swamp Thing and Animal Man, which was the final War of Rotworld, parts 1 and 2. There's a couple of weird things going on. One of which was they were fighting the rotten version of Superman, and somehow they figure out that because he's rotten now, the sun that used to give him energy is now the exact opposite of what's going to give him energy, so it'll probably destroy him. So Animal Man tells Mr. Freeze, who is still normal because he's kind of teetering on the brink of death, but he's still alive. So he's another one of those characters that can't be converted over to the rot. So he's on the human side. He tells him to shoot the clouds directly above me and Superman. I don't know what frozen clouds are going to do, and I thought this was kind of piss-poor paneling, because Mr. Freeze gets distracted by his dead wife Nora, who eats him, and then somebody else grabs the freeze gun, shoots the clouds. You don't even see the clouds frozen, because maybe frozen clouds would have been hard to draw. All of a sudden you see like some bright yellow light on Superman, and then Animal Man is standing next to a pile of like smoke. I don't know, maybe the world was kind of grayed over, and freezing the clouds broke a hole in the layer of clouds and allowed the sun to shine through. It wasn't really explained too well at all. I don't know what's going on there, and I thought Superman's death, rotten or not, deserved a better set of panels. Like, I would have liked to see Superman maybe burst into flames from the sun. Like, you could add the sun in the background over here and a break in the clouds, the beams shining down. You know, I fancy myself an artist. I do it for a living, so I could kind of see some shit like that. And I don't know. That's one thing about Swamp Thing. I know, like, the paneling seems a little difficult for me to follow. I like the story a lot, but I find Animal Man is a better read for me, because Swamp Thing, I'm sitting there getting a fucking headache looking at it, and like the paneling is always all over the place. And I guess that's, you know, the way it's designed. I get it. It's like, you know, all leaves and plant life which grows in every which direction, so that's where the fucking panels are, and that's where the breaks are, so you kind of gotta study to see where your eyes gotta go. And, you know, I akin it to Ang Lee's fucking Incredible Hulk, with all them panels going across the screen and shit when you were watching it. It was cool for about the first 5 minutes, and after a while you're like, give it a goddamn rest, man. Here's another gripe I have with this book. Because I do like it, and when I like something, I tend to pick on it a little bit more. The Green Lantern, this chlorophyll guy, Metaphil, whatever his name is, I call him chlorophyll. He gets his head lopped off by one of, you know, Anton Arcane's random dead creatures. And the Green Lantern ring then chooses someone else, and it flies maybe about 10 feet and goes to Frankenstein. And it tells Frankenstein, Frankenstein of Earth, you have displayed great courage. Will you accept this ring? Somebody's not studying their Green Lantern. That ring is supposed to say, you have the ability to overcome great fear. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps. So I don't know what the fuck happened in editing on that page, but wrong. On the other hand, I'm pretty okay with Frankenstein getting a Green Lantern ring in that future. That was pretty cool. But basically, the whole thing ended with Anton Arcane's forces being almost thoroughly defeated. He had Abigail Arcane, the love of Swamp Thing's life, and what's her name? Maxine is Buddy Baker's daughter, as an agent of the Rot as well. He just turned their whole families against them, broke their heart. They had to kill their families. And then Arcane just jumps into this little time travel void to go back into the heart of the Rot. And he's like, fuck you guys, I can just keep doing this again and again until I win, so screw yous, see yous in a year. And then the Parliament of the Rot, which is like the forces that rule each, the red, the green, and the Rot each have their own parliaments, right? Which is made up of the former avatars. So at one point, you know, Buddy Baker will be an avatar of the red, and he'll be amongst the Parliament. So will Alec Holland be amongst the green. And these people are telling Animal Man and Swamp Thing, like, listen, we're not your enemy. We kind of fucked up giving our power to Anton Arcane. We didn't know he was going to do that. He didn't mention it in any of the meetings. He's basically turned this bastardization of death into, you know, we didn't want this entire world of death. That's not cool, man. We're pretty sorry about that. So listen, we're going to send you back to a year ago when this first happened, and you have to stop Arcane this time, because we're not going to have the power to help you again. So they go back in time, and this is now, you know, they've returned to their own time as of next month, when we see Cost of War in issue 18, and that's probably going to go until, 24, I would assume. So expect another 6 months of Animal Man and Swamp Thing at each other's backs against Anton Arcane and trying to defeat him and save the world as we know it. Excuse me. It's a good series. It really is. I would have liked to see a little deviation at this point, and let's move on with a different kind of story, because this is really my first experience with both of these characters. I'm loving it, but now I kind of want to see a little bit more. Like, all right, I get it. Avatars are the red, the green. Got it. Let me see some other villains. Let me see some different stories. But nevertheless, obviously I'm going to stick around. I want to see what the fuck happens, and obviously we'll keep you guys posted as these stories unfold. Now, over in, what the fuck else did I say? Oh yeah, Red Team. Garth Ennis' Red Team. That was a cool fucking story. Basically, real quick, got these 4 cops that the mobster or whatever that they're tailing, and they're trying to collect a case on. He kills one of their partners, and then he kills this other poor retarded criminal guy. And these 4 cops are like, we're never gonna get this guy. His lawyer beat us every time we've amassed any kind of evidence against him. He's just gonna fucking slip through the cracks, and if we keep going after him, he's gonna hit us with a harassment charge, and then we're never gonna get him. So fuck this, let's just kill him. And that's where we pick up our story. Basically, these 4 decide to be Franken-castles, and they go and kill this mobster. And the story finishes like one of the guys is being interviewed throughout the whole book with by, I guess, internal affairs or whatever, and he's telling them the story. That's the way it opens, and the way it ends is, he's like, everything went flawlessly. And I guess like the internal affairs guy that you never see, he's like, okay, but you said that there was a problem. What's the problem if everything went so flawlessly? And he's like, well, that was the problem. Nothing happened. Like, there was no close call. There was no, oh shit, we almost didn't make it. That would have fucked us over completely. We killed this guy, this scumbag of the earth, and it was easy. And we were probably going to do it again. I don't know if she killed the same guy. That's fucking stupid. But they're going to go around killing criminals. It was a cool story. I follow Garth Ennis pretty much anywhere. I'll always give him a shot anytime I see he's on a new book. I'm not saying that I like every single thing he's done. I did like Jennifer Blood when he was on it. The story seems to be dragging a little bit now, and I'm really just waiting for her to get fucking killed, because I'm a little sick and tired of her shit. She's a whiny fucking bitch of a woman. So, but yeah, you guys could do a lot worse than checking out Garth Ennis' Red Team #1. And last but not least, I checked out Snapshot just on a whim. It's a black and white book. Basically, this kid finds not a kid. He's like, young adult, 20-something, works in a comic book store. This story had a couple of cool panels. One of them, the name of the store was Near Mint Rhino, which is a take on one of the most famous strip clubs in Vegas, which is Spearmint Rhino. That was really fucking funny. And he's got this other fat buddy named Steve, who's like waiting at the comic shop for him to get there, and he was, going to just sit and read some comics with him. And this other dude walks in, and, this is one of those forced scenes that, like, I guess was kind of like sitcom worthy. But it being a comic shop, some other dude walks in, he's like, I'm sorry, do you keep stationery? And their answers were, yes, for hours at a time. Sometimes I barely get off the couch. It's pretty funny. I laughed. But anyway, basically this guy finds a cell phone in the park, and he looks through it, obviously looking for, tit pictures, because that's on just about every cell phone. And he sees that there's a guy murdered. The pictures of this murdered dude on the phone. And then some dude comes asking for it. He's a cop. And all of a sudden you see him putting fucking white gloves on, loading his gun, putting a silencer on. He's going to kill the kid for the phone. So obviously something's up. So the kid runs to the police station, and he shows the guy, like, look, there's fucking pictures of a murdered guy on here. And the cop's like, well, we don't know if this guy is murdered or what. This could be just about anything. I mean, the guy's fucking sitting there with a bullet in his head. How many things could it be? But at that point, the dude on the phone in the pictures comes waltzing through, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man, that's my phone, My wife and I were inviting our friends over for a murder mystery weekend. You know, we got a little carried away. The guy in the shop was obviously, he was a friend of mine. He was taking the role, like he took the role to heart. He was in character. Sorry about that. You know, whatever. Here's your phone. See you on your merry way. And then this kid just can't get over it. He's like, yo, what the fuck, man? This guy, like, he was dead on the phone and now he's here. And like, why is he, you know, fucking around like that? So his friend Steve convinces him, well, let's go talk to the guy. You know where he lives. He said where he lived, you know, when you were in the police station. So they go to the guy's house and inevitably, guess what? He's fucking dead. Just like in the pictures on the phone. So, does the phone tell the future or what? Because now here comes the, you know, evil cop with the fucking silencer again. And obviously you see he killed this guy. Then he proceeds to shoot fat friend Steve. And then he gives the gun to the kid and says, okay, now you kill me. And that's where issue 1 ended. Alright, I'm in. I want to know what's going on with the fucking phone telling the future and shit. I think I remember reading something about that. But Image has been doing a lot of these like 4-issue series. I read Point of Impact as well. That was cool. We haven't reviewed that yet, but we will get to it. Like Image does these books now. Like when Radical was actually making comics, they would kind of make things that, you know, maybe give you, you know, kind of wet your whistle a little bit. And if you're interested, maybe they started ongoing. They did that with Green Wake, which became an ongoing and then dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know whatever happened with that. It was a good series for the 6 issues, but excuse me, it didn't seem like it could last, you know, as an ongoing. And apparently I was right. But Image has been producing a lot of crazy, cool new stuff, and I will usually, if I catch something at a #1, I'll give it a shot. Like I don't like to find something interesting at issue 4. And I'm like, oh, now I gotta backtrack and all that fucking effort of either looking through the back issue bins in the comic shop, and there's always one fucking issue that's missing, and I gotta eBay that motherfucker anyway. So if anything, I'm gonna just eBay them all. But definitely, if you guys pick up any of those like Image one-shots and little mini-series stuff, and you find them really interesting, definitely hit us up. That's how I got into Green Wake. And there was another one too that I read, Voodoo Drums. That was a fucking cool series too for the 4 issues that it lasted. Definitely, if you guys are reading any of those like Image minis, hit us up. You know the drill. Questions at PetesBasement.com, Facebook.com/PetesBasement. Follow us on Twitter for up-to-the-minute reviews and opinions on comics. Guys, I'm gonna turn you over to the rest of the crew. Again, Ash, happy birthday. And I hope to see you guys soon. The rest of you, we'll see you next week. Salud.
Hey everyone, it's Penny, and today I want to talk to you about Heroclix. If you play Heroclix or you're just starting getting into Heroclix, then this is going to be fun. If you don't know what Heroclix are, it's a strategy-based dice rolling game that utilizes the combat dial system. I think this is freaking cool. I love to collect the figures because they have Marvel, DC, Indie. I've made custom figures. What I wanted to show you today was that the Amazing Spider-Man set came out. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I don't know everything about Spider-Man. I don't even think I really consistently read any Spider-Man, but I love the guy. I love all the characters. I'm not against reading and learning about them, but I definitely want to collect them. There's so many cool figures in this set, like Franken-castle, Morbius, monsters, and like all these different Spider-Mans. And I got a bunch of bad guys. I got Shocker. So under his defense, he has a special ability where he could use toughness and break away automatically. Also worth mentioning is his special ability on his damage, where he can draw a line of fire, which is up to his range, which is 4. It doesn't matter if there's people standing near. Actually, you want people standing there. Everyone within that line of fire, if you beat their defenses, they're gonna click for 3. Anyone adjacent to that line of fire, they're clicking for 1. So Shocker's just gonna go like blow everybody up. It's awesome. The next guy I got in my booster pack is Rhino. Rhino's actually pretty cool. He's not like super awesome, but he has a really cool power under his movement where he can charge and automatically break away when he does so, which is great because charge is awesome, but then you're stuck there in close combat. So this is cool. The only downside is his speed starts off with 7, so you have to half that to charges. So he's only moving for 3. So you're not getting away too far. But that's okay because he has invulnerability and he's abominable. Next, got Vulture. He's pretty neat. His movement's 11 because he's a flyer. And because he's a flyer, you know, you can carry people. He has a special trait, though, that if someone else has the team ability Sinister Syndicate, then he can carry 2 people. And I do have 2 people that are Sinister Syndicate because I have Shocker and Rhino. So Vulture can carry these guys, and they're coming after you. Or running away from you, I guess. Either way. I also got Moon Knight in my booster pack. He has Perplex under his damage. I love Perplex, especially if you want to perplex up his damage, and his damage is 3 in his first click, right? So, and once Perplex is gone, he clicks off of that, he clicks onto a special ability, which is really cool, where you give him a free action, and then he could choose anything from that list to last until the next turn. So Moon Knight seems pretty cool. The last guy in my booster pack was Hannibal King, whom I've never ran into much until now, apparently. He doesn't sound vaguely familiar, but I see that he's a badass vampire dude. He's 100 points, 107 points to use, hitting you for 3 on his first click with that wit, which I think is awesome. He has a special ability where he can use running shot and stealth. He has steal energy and regeneration at some point, so he's a freaking and super senses, so he's a freaking cockroach, you could tell. Next character I got is Spider Girl Anya. She's a rookie. She's the weakest character I got out of my whole batch here. But, you know, she's gonna do her thing. I still think that you can kick ass with the crappy characters if you know how to use them. And she has leap climb, combat reflexes, and willpower. I'm a big fan of willpower because I like to just keep on fighting. The last Spider-Man figure I got was actually another Shocker. But my friend was cool enough to trade me for Spidey. So I'm very happy now because I never had a Spider-Man Heroclix before. And this one's neat. Kind of looks like he's doing Tai Chi. But he's a good click. I think I'm going to have fun with him. He's 75 points. And I love that he has sharpshooter ability, which means you can do range combat attacks from up close. So if you have a range combat expert, that means you're going to get that extra boost from it. And he has a special ability on his attack where if he does a range combat attack and is successful, then you're going to modify your attack by -3 until my turn comes around again, because you got web in your eyes, you can't see. That's freaking awesome. And since his range is 2, that means he can do ranged combat on 2 people, and 2 of your people will have -3 for the turn. Or 2 people from up close will have -3, which is good because I'm stuck in close combat with you. So now you're going to attack me on your turn, you're going to get less, 3 less points on me. Also new to Heroclix is vehicles. They came out with the Batman set. I want the I want Blue Beetle's vehicle so badly. It's like $80 now if you try to buy it off of Cool Stuff Inc., which is another place where I get all my stuff from. They have loose figures and booster packs, and if you don't want to get a figure at random, you can just go buy a used figure off of Cool Stuff, which is really cool. And they have a rewards program, so the more you buy from Heroclix, you get discounts. Every time you buy in the future, I'm already getting like a decent discount because I have nothing better to spend my money on than Heroclix. But vehicles were new. The last time I bought a vehicle, I got the Batwing, which was pretty neat. I totally love it. It's so awesome. I haven't played with vehicles yet, so I'm not sure exactly how they work. I gotta have more people to play with. And when I went this week to pick up the Spider-Man stuff, I got the Invisible Jet. Awesome. I'm a big kid, so I could take them off and play with them. Look, it broke. That's one thing I didn't like about the Wonder Woman plane. The wings came separately, and you had to click them on. And then I didn't feel like they were clicking in good. I feel like they're loose. I don't like that, because that means when I'm playing, they might be falling off. And they're going to fall off, and this rocket might break. These little wings here, or the fins, tails, whatever they're called. I don't like that. Come on, Heroclix. Like, really, get with the program. These things are so delicate. How many Heroclix did we break in the beginning? with the stupid dial. Remember that dial with the ring that you had to turn it? Lame. Then they upgraded the dials and they got better. Then they made the Oreo dials, and the Oreo dials are good. But all the Oreo dials on the figures I got today, so I can't click them. Come on. I don't have arthritis that bad. They need to, I don't know, they're getting hard to click again. You're slipping, Heroclix, come on. But I'm happy with the stuff that I got. Oh, I go get my stuff from The Complete Strategist in New York City. You could check them out right here. Bam. They're also in, I think, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Massachusetts, so there might be a store near you if you're not in the New York area. They're a gaming store. They sell, you know, the fantasy and war game type stuff, Warhammer, I think Dungeons and Dragons. They might even have Magic the Gathering. Definitely got Heroclix, model kits, painting, you know, all that, those things you need for geeky game workshop stuff. I'm sure you guys know about that store. But while I was there, I also picked up Justice League and DC 10th Anniversary stuff. And I got Cyborg and Wonder Woman, which was pretty cool. I think that's it. I just wanted to show you this amazing Spider-Man set that came out. And if you're a collector, maybe you'd like to go pick it up and you could display these guys on your shelf, because that's fun too. But it'd be really cool if you learned how to play, and then we could play. I know that they have Heroclix Online that I haven't checked out yet. I think you have to buy, it's like $1 maybe to download the game, and then they give you free digital Heroclix that you can play. So maybe you want to try the game online, and if you like it, you could start buying the figures, and we could be friends, and then we could play. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's it.
Wow, it's like behind the scenes, man. Whoa. First and foremost, guys, I think it's time for a little R&R. And by that, I mean Rotworld and... What the fuck was I saying? Oh, Red Team. Ah, fuck, it was a stupid segue anyway. What's up, everybody? It's your old pal Pete, back again with a second episode. I don't even know what I'm saying. No idea. Stupid meteorologist, fuck it.
Broken already, because what is this stand, Wizkids? What is this new stick that you made? This is a downgrade from your old stand. The first stand was stupid because you had to put the figure in the top, and sometimes they broke, and then it had this stupid switch on the side for to indicate whether you're flying or whether you were landing, and then you'd break it, the figure trying to mess with that thing, and stupidness.
And before we talk about some comics, I want to wish a very happy birthday to my good friend Ashley. Yeah, happy birthday. It was a lot of fun chilling with you and Amber. You guys have seen Amber on our show before. I went out to Philly to a tattoo convention as Ashley got a Wonder Woman tattoo on her ankle, and then we hung out, grabbed some drinks. Ashley, very happy birthday. Why did I bow? What the fuck was that shit? And for that, you can thank motherfucking nature.